All right, so here goes the attempt to film something in a mirror, and we'll see if this works. The idea is to show any movement or assist, any physical assist here, in any of these muscles and these tendons, and when I breathe, you can see that my larynx goes down, I'm sucking it down, and it's a vertical opening of the throat, really, and I go, then I start to sing, nothing should move. You shouldn't see veins and tendons popping out and all kinds of tension. And I gotta make sure I'm loose. I don't jut my head forward this way. When I do, you start to see little things happening. If I'll pull it back, tuck my head back and tuck everything back against my hand up here, I go, la. You can see how the throat completely relaxes when I put the pressure backwards, like this, against my hand. And I can put my head up, la, because the throat doesn't do anything. You're supposed to get the throat so it does nothing. You sing through it, you don't sing with it. And so the idea is to get these things so they're lined up in a way, and the breath is taking care of everything, and everything happens from the throat down. And we talked about singers, the circle of the chakras. We talked about different points of leaning. One of them, of course, was right here. As long as the breath stops here and doesn't get any higher, perfectly harmless. That's the one where Mario Domenico sang Otello 467 times, plus this whole rest of his massive repertoire and dramatic repertoire. He never had a vocal problem, right? So if the breath is stopped and never gets into the throat, it can't hurt you. So if I breathe, I go, and I'll put it on my chest. You notice everything remains absolutely free in my throat. And this is something that people really can work on. You get your own mirror and sing into it, and you'll find that you can see little movement. A lot of singers pop out like that and show their tendons like mad. Well, think what I'm doing to cause that to happen. I'm tense as heck in here, see? But if I relax it, and use every breath as an opportunity to suck the air down and to relax my throat, then breathing becomes also a relaxation process in parts of my body, the parts that I sing through, mainly my throat. So if I'm singing, la, 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 and nothing is happening, la, how do I do that, though? How do I sing throatless? And throatless literally means invisible throat. There's no action in the tendons or in the blood vessels or any movement in the larynx itself. The hyoid muscle remains soft. I don't tense this right here at all. There's no tension here under my jaw. This is all loose. I'll try to keep my head tucked back a little bit and look up rather than leaning it out forward, which makes all my tendons start to stretch. See that? And there's a blood vessel over there, right? So the idea is to not use those, right? La, la. La, 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 la. How do I do that? If I'm singing more dramatic music, is that an excuse to start making faces and tendons and all kinds of muscular activity? This is something singers really don't work on enough. They don't care enough. Let's just say you worry about your clothes, your haircut. I mean, I need to trim my beard. Do we really worry about all these things and the way they look? Then we get up to singing, we have tendons sticking out all over, or we make a funny face, or we make a mouth, that goes weird, or goes, right? The idea is that you should make yourself look as normal as possible. There's an old theater rule that says, in live theater, that says, never show the work. You're not supposed to do this to be angry. You're supposed to really be angry and then let everything organically respond the way it would in real life, instead of trying to look angry but not really doing any feeling or emotion or anything. So I have to be careful if I'm doing this. La, my teeth are together, I do that. La. A little vein pops out a little bit. La. Then we have all these ways of relaxing the mouth. I can just hold this in my mouth like this and go. I relax something to sing. I don't tense something to sing. I breathe way down in my body, in the lower back, pull my abdomen in preferably. And then when I start to sing, I'll let go of the abdomen and everything. I'll let everything fall and I go, I can wag my tongue, rotate my tongue. My tongue doesn't play any role. It has nothing to do except to flip up and down to make dental consonants. La 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 ra 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 ra. But otherwise, it's not doing anything. You know, I'm 81 years old. I've got some wrinkles and things here. I should go to the plastic surgeon and have, I don't know what, look like that. I don't know. But the point is they're not standing out or doing anything because I'm singing. Maybe some other reason, but not because I'm singing. So the idea is you can go almost experimental here, and you can see how high you can go and what vowels and all of that, and if you can change your volume level. If you do coloratura, I do coloratura. So what happens if I do this? La, la. So I'm pulling my head back against my hands, which are pushing forward. And when I do that, I tense the back of my neck, but it makes the front of my throat, my neck, everything let go. So everything in the front gets completely sloppy loose, and the back, the little the muscles that go up on each side of my vertebra here, they get tense. This is called, in karate, for instance, hard styling, which you're using muscles to create a situation that frees up another muscle that you want to use. Soft style is I wouldn't even pull my head back. I just stand there like that, and now my head is balanced on top of it's like a ball balanced on top of a pole, and my head's sitting there like that, and it's just balanced. If I relax my head, it'll go whoop, and fall over. It'll fall some direction. See? So I just make sure my head stays up straight. If I can get it exactly balanced in the right place, my head won't even fall off the pole. It'll just stay there. And then I can sing. If I get perfectly balanced on top of my spine, I don't need to flex any muscles at all. I don't even need the ones in the back of my neck. Sometimes you do specifically. I had a friend who was a teacher of Aikido, which is one of the great soft style martial arts. I think it originally was Japanese, and the whole idea is you do everything without flexing muscles. You do everything with gravity and movement and this and that. And he said he wouldn't take a student unless they had a black belt and some hard style first, because the soft styles are so subtle you can't feel anything happen. You don't know what you're doing. So you have to learn literally to feel sort of nothingness all the time. And he said it's very difficult to learn it and teach it, but it's much easier if you've got a lot of experience using muscles to make things happen. So I can do this. Now I'm using, see, by the fact that I'm pulling back against my hand, it's a great exercise, doesn't hurt a thing. And I can go, how are you today? It's so nice to be here. Let's go downtown and get something to eat. I can say anything I want to say. Now, if I let go, and I want those muscles in the back of my neck to relax, and you see there's no tendons popping out and all this stuff here, my larynx does not move. My larynx stays in one spot because the breathing holds it down. And the only place I'm working really is down in my body, in my lower back. My lower back starts to squeeze and press the breath up against my diaphragm. And the lean of the breath, as the Italians call it, that little pressure of the breath against the sternum or against my diaphragm, that is what is maintained, and everything else relaxes. So if I can get it right, I can just balance my head like that and go, the idea is it doesn't have to be perfect all the time. You can pop it and show a tendon once in a while, but it's something that we pursue. Remember, Maggie Tate wrote a book, a singer, famous singer, and she named this book "The Pursuit of Perfection." So far, no one has written a book, The Achievement of Perfection. So we're all trying to do the best we can. Lily Lehman wrote in the foreword of her book, she talked in the foreword about Adelina Patti, saying Patti was the only perfect singer that ever lived, and everything she did was perfect, and everything was right. And so when someone finally asked Adelina Patti, well, what do you think about when you sing? Your technique is so perfect. Your voice production is so incredibly perfect and free. And she thought of it and she said, don't sing breathy. That's all she ever thought about when she sang. Just don't sing breathy. If I go, I guess I'll have to work to control that. But if I just leave it and don't sing breathy, go, la, everything is as easy as pie. So if I sing really, well, I can do all kinds of music, and I can go, only mezza voce, I split my voice in half. La, half voice. Mezza voce means half voice, right? Not volume-wise, but texture-wise. Still not using anything in here. So this is something we practice all the time, if we can. And then we try to do other exercises. Another hard style exercise that we can do is where we lean back against the wall. Let's see if we can get a good angle so you can see my head up here, right? Do a little adjusting. There we go. Now, if I put my head back against this wall, you see what I'm doing? Now, I'm not going to let my spine or my shoulders touch the wall. Nothing's going to touch the wall except the back of my head, like that. You'll notice nothing is happening here in the entire front of my head, and those muscles right there in the back of my neck tense. And it's somewhat like this exercise in that you're pulling back with your head. When you prop yourself up here to hold yourself away from the wall, you flex those muscles. But those muscles are not involved in singing. There's something involved in holding the position of the head and neck relative to the spine. And it's, funny enough, a hard style exercise you can use. Also in the diaphragm, I can either go like this, I can go and hold that, or I can keep it soft and just exhale there and go like that and go. You notice it's not tense at all. I drop my belly and go. Everything stays loose. This whole part of the apparatus is loose. Ideally, we take a breath behind us, inhale, then we exhale by relaxing the diaphragm. And when we do that, if my head is balanced on top of my spine, and I've got an absolutely balanced position, like the ball sitting on top of the pole, and I'm like that, all of a sudden I can sing. Literally, it feels like I'm doing nothing except standing up. I could do it sitting down, right? I feel like I'm doing nothing. I did my work when I breathed in. So I'm going to breathe in. Nothing moves unless the breath moves it, so I don't even move anything. I don't expand my ribs. I don't do anything. I just breathe in my lower back, pull my tummy in. But when I think I'm pulling my tummy in, my tummy stays soft. Look, it goes in. I'm going to pull it in. Watch. Breathe. See how it stays soft? Even though this is going in as I inhale, the belly stays soft. See that? Then when I start to sing, I go, la, la. I don't have to hold my head down. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do anything. So this is one of the things we really try to achieve. You guys are going to sing really big, long performances, mostly opera. And when you get in some of those big operas, you think, holy cow, I got to sing now for hours. You know what? You learn not to work. You learn to find the incredible efficiency of your voice. And if you get this, I don't want to say relaxed. I remember I said to U.C. Bierling, Master, we don't understand why it's so easy for you. And he said, oh, easy? No, easy. No, that I would not say. It is not easy. No, it is not easy. But he couldn't tell you what he did because he stood there and sang like an angel. And out came his magnificent, most beautiful male voice I think I've ever heard. And he sort of seemed to be doing nothing. He was a child singer, grew up from, he was a little child, singing in the family quartet with his family, and was always a natural singer and sang just great, but he couldn't tell you beans. I had 3 voice lessons with him. He couldn't tell you anything. This was my voice lesson with U.C. Bierling, okay? I'd go, oh, I say, wait. He'd go, no, wait. He said, now try again. So I go, no. So I said, wait. So you go, okay, now try again. I say, no, that's it. I don't understand why it's so difficult for you. I said, Master, we don't understand why it's so easy for you. He says, easy? No, I would not say easy. No, I would not say easy. But that was the extent of the lesson. There was nothing that he could tell me that, I mean, he just was an incredible singer. Most of the singers had very clear, definite, very specific things that they did, or they gave a command to their bodies, that their bodies should do those things, and they worked like a charm, you know. But he was a guy who just stood there and opened his mouth and sang, and it was, I don't know what the word would be, it was the most beautiful thing you ever heard in your life. So if I stand here, and I've just maintained my posture. Some of the singers in Vienna were studying when I was living in Vienna, teaching in Vienna. There was a very popular teacher there, and was teaching everybody to do this. Then they breathe this way. Then they'd sing this way. You'll notice though my throat is remaining free, and what I'm doing is leaning my breath instead of the sort of old Italian school pressure of the breath against the diaphragm or the sternum. I'm leaning against my back. Christa Ludwig sang like that. There are only a number of singers that I knew who sang leaning back. Some of the singers lean back in the back of the neck, and you sort of have to watch it. This is mostly becomes reactive instead of active. But a lot of Italian singers some people would hold this actively still. Is this moving? So if I hold this still, what happens here? Nothing. Nothing happens there. So the idea is always, if you make action, always make action somewhere away from the throat, and don't do things that react as action in your throat. If I, let's say I breathe and I push my stomach out. Now there's a reaction in my throat. Look, there it goes. See right there? But if I pull my stomach in and breathe in my lower back, I get, now my throat relaxed. So it simply pays to take time to work with the mirror. That mirror I was using, I'll show it to you. This is the mirror I was using. Some little standing mirror. And it's got a big magnifying on one side and a normal on the other side. And you can get right up there and you can watch every one of those little flexes. And if I can do it that way, see, I'm looking at myself this way. So if you'll use a mirror and you really will work hard, don't worry, you'll hate it at the beginning. You'll say, this is the worst darn thing I've ever heard of. This guy must be crazy, except that it works. And if you can get yourself and make yourself practice long enough, you know, it's sort of one of the things you don't understand how to do it or what to do it, and nobody can tell you how to do it. Just don't flex any muscles. Well, you gotta work somewhere. The idea, that was Ava Turner's great thing. She said, if you don't work here, you have to work somewhere else. And wherever else you work is better than working here. You can hear that if I flex a muscle inside, this is the equivalent of flexing a muscle. All I'm doing is touching my larynx right there, or my trachea. And listen to change in the sound. Well, imagine you're flexing inside. You're doing any kind of flexing, it's going to affect the quality of your tone like mad. And the other one, of course, is this one. It's another one you have to learn. You just do it until it doesn't leave. Some of this activity can be normal in some people, and it's up to you to get rid of it if you can. And if you can't, then you get rid of it the best you can. See? But if I pull like crazy, see that? La, both hands. La, the more you pull back, the more these muscles will flex. And the more they flex, the less these will flex, until finally this lets go completely. And these are in the back, get tense, and they'll hold your head in position. Then once you program this, you go from hard style to soft style, which means I'm going to go from muscular process to relaxation process. So I've got this back there, now I've got the posture, now I'm going to let go and let my head just sit like the ball on top of the pole. I'm going to go, la, see? La, 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 la. Doesn't matter what position my head's in, I'm not using this, so it's free to turn and look up and look down and do whatever it wants to do. Okay, so I hope that will give people something to work on specifically. Get in front of the mirror and watch this, and if it flexes, say, I hate you, I don't want you, until it finally obeys you. This is it's like with the cleaner, with the paper, with the Kleenex. The paper is in your front, tissue is in front of your mouth, and you don't know what to do to stop it from leaking. So you just simply say, I'm going to keep trying until it doesn't leak anymore. There are not directions and formulas and things that you can do in some cases. Some cases you will sing strictly on desire, and as soon as your psychomotor processing understands what it is you want to do, it will figure out a way to do it, if you have the strength. You know? It's like maybe I can figure out a way to pick up something, but if I'm not strong enough, I can't pick it up. But there are better ways to pick it up. People that do that all the time know techniques for that. So our technique is to breathe way down inside the lower back and fill it up down there. Pull your stomach in when you do it, because it helps compress that air down your lower back. Then when you start to sing, you just relax. Relax your belly, relax your throat, relax everything, and go, how are you today? I'm fine. I don't have to do anything in the world. And you're left very much with whatever your natural voice is. And if you've been coloring your voice, or anything, that will have to go away if you want to get rid of all these little muscle reactions in your throat. Some singers sing with their heads down like this. See how they're holding? First thing I do when I do this, press down on my larynx. So it puts my larynx down, but it does it artificially by putting pressure on it. The whole idea is to breathe the thing down, and it remains soft, and all the activities down in the breathing, and then I just do that. Then I look in the mirror. If I have any little actions and tensions, I say, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, and I will stay with it until it goes away. Well, my most personal dramatic experience was trying to say CH, ch, right? Without moving the paper. I just had this thing about ch. I could do all the others, but every time I get to a CH, then the paper would move. I had to learn to go cha che chi che cha cho tu cha che chi che. How are you today? So nice to see you. Cha cha cha. Watch me, watch me, watch me. And I got so I could do all those things without tension here, without flexing. Watch me, watch me. The tongue will come up a little bit to make that consonant. And you'll see a little movement, but it's not tension. It's freedom. All right, I hope that helps. Give that a try, and let's see what the mirror will tell you about yourself and your own singing. Bye.